Highway Patrol Communications, Colburn.
Hey, bud, I don't know if you're going to believe me or not, but I just had a naked guy come walking up on me on a side of the road.
All right.
And I took off, and he jumped. I think he jumped on my catwalk.
You don't want it up your nose, then talk to me. Stop acting stupid. You're a grown man. And what's going on? Don't shrug your shoulders and do your hands. Tell me. Open your mouth and talk to me. What's going on? Why are they out here on the interstate with you? I just want to go ahead to the substation and go to sleep. So if you tell me your name, we'll let you go so I can go back to bed.
She's being serious.
I'm being serious. I'm sleepy. Give me a damn name so I can go home, for real. Rodrigo, there you go.
Instead of helping him and recognizing what they should have been trained to recognize, they insulted him and called him names and they mocked him.
An Orangeburg County Sheriff's deputy decided to drop off Tarashuk, half-dressed, with no shoes and no ID, at a random gas station in the middle of the night.
Oh my, I think I just hit a person. I think I just hit a person.
Having the right first responder show up to your emergency can mean the difference between life and death. And that's exactly what it meant in Paul's case.
Watch as what should have been a simple 911 call for a man in distress on the highway turns into every family's worst nightmare. Instead of helping, the ambulance crew abused this 26-year-old man suffering from a mental health crisis.
You don't want it up your nose, then talk to me. Stop acting stupid. You're a grown man. And what's going on? Don't shrug your shoulders and do your hands. Tell me. Open your mouth and talk to me. Hello? I'm not playing.
And the police? Well, they weren't any better.
On September 9th, 2018, 26-year-old Paul Tarashuk was driving his truck down Interstate 95 in South Carolina. Now, reports state sometime between 9 and 11 p.m., his truck was run off the side of the road. And this is where things start to unravel for Paul. See, when he was 18 years old, Paul was diagnosed with what's called schizoaffective disorder, which caused him to have episodes of hallucinations and delusions. And apparently, after Paul's truck was run off the side of the road, that's exactly what happened. Paul began to hallucinate.
What we know next, based on the body cam footage and this 22-page lawsuit, is Paul took off all of his clothes and left all of his belongings in his truck and started walking down Interstate 95, well, naked.
What we know next, around 11 p.m., a semi-truck driver who was traveling down Interstate 95 was parked on an entrance ramp to the interstate and noticed a naked Paul jump onto the back part of his truck. After he thought Paul had jumped back off, he drove away. That truck driver would have a holy shit moment after driving 2 miles down the road, realizing Paul was still on his truck. So he called 911 and then he pulled over. The Santee police would be the first to arrive on scene just before 11:30 p.m. That Santee police officer would quickly locate Paul, naked on top of his truck cab.
Can you come on down? Come on down.
What's going on?
What's going on?
No, I'm just fixing my truck.
The truck?
Yeah.
Orangeburg County Sheriff's Deputy Clifford Doroski,
Oh, he's under the influence. Nobody can see that.
who was certain Tarashuk was high or drunk.
No, I'm just fixing my truck.
You're fixing your truck?
Yeah.
Naked?
That officer said that Paul was dazed and incoherent and, well, was speaking gibberish. This was obviously odd to the officer, but one thing Paul wasn't was combative. He was following the officer's directions and got down from the truck. Now, after Paul was detained by the Santee police officer, more officers would arrive on scene to kind of unwind what was going on with this weird situation. The law enforcement officer who would end up taking over this scene was Orangeburg County Sheriff's Deputy Clifford Doroski. Now, for some reason, everyone stood around for the next hour before it was decided to call Orangeburg County EMS to come to the scene and check out Paul.
Paramedic Allison Harmon, along with EMT Jamie Givens and a trainee, arrived on scene about 45 minutes after the 911 call was placed. Their call was dispatched as a man with altered mental status. And when they arrived on scene, that was immediately apparent. The EMS crew, along with Deputy Doroski, escorted Paul over to the ambulance.
Hey, come over here. Hey, ambulance is over here. Come on. We're trying to get you help, bud. Go over and see the girls in the ambulance. Come on. Come on. Go over and see the girls in the ambulance. They're going to get you the help. They just want to check your vitals. That's all they're going to do. Come on. That's all they're going to check your vitals. Make sure everything's okay. Have a seat. Have a seat.
Sit down. Sit down.
And watch what happens.
So you will have to talk to us. All right? What's your name? Yeah, the little kid. Give me the little kid. You speak English? Hey. Hey.
That's all. Again, 1 minute he's head up, eyes up, looking around. Next minute, head down.
Give me some of me.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Get ready to wake up. Oh, pleasure. Or you want me to have pleasure? Pop it. Right. Breathe that in.
Here. Talk to me. Talk to me. You don't want it up your nose, then talk to me. Stop acting stupid. You're a grown man. And what's going on? Don't shrug your shoulders and do your hands. Tell me. Open your mouth and talk to me. What's going on? Why are they out here on the interstate with you? Say. Hello? Hello? I'm not playing. What's your name?
Give me your hand. Hand.
What's your name? What's your name? Hello? What's your name?
He's breathing on it. Yeah, he is. $124.99.
What's your name? Huh? You can talk.
Hey, you speak English?
Yes.
Yes.
I think I'm transferring before. What's your name?
I'm gonna give that a minute. All right. We gotta get your name. What's your name? It's funny.
You don't have to be reluctant. We all just trying to help you out, bud.
All right, so check this out. Can you please tell us your name so you can take this out your nose? I know it stinks. We know it stinks. Come on, partner.
EMTs did assess Paul's vital signs, but that's about all they did. Well, besides physically assaulting Paul by shoving a smelling salts up his nose and leaving it there, that is not how smelling salts are supposed to be used. And number two, there was no need to use smelling salts to begin with.
It's just your name.
Everybody here's just trying to help you out, bud.
I'm transporting before. I can't remember where I'm transporting from.
You want to try it again?
Yeah. What's your name?
I was going to hold on for just a relax the arm, okay? Thank you.
118. I wish mine was 118.
What's your name? Hello? What's your name? Everybody's got a name? Yeah?
What's
your
yours?
name?
What's your name? It's okay.
You don't want to say it in front of the police officer?
I told him my name was Cliff. I tried to talk to him a few times. He didn't want to talk.
You still.
You want to write your name down? Can you write your name?
Give me a white or something. I need a white. Yeah.
If it's an act, it's a pretty good act.
Yeah.
Because I see the same thing when I see a variety of drugs being used.
Yeah.
Now, if you're taking something, we're not here to judge you.
What you been
You want to
taking?
get treatment. If you're taking anything, we don't get treatment for it.
From the beginning, it's pretty clear that both EMS and police had believed that Paul was on some sort of drugs. But I want you to look a little closer when they're talking to Paul. To me, his body language doesn't look like anybody that's on drugs.
What you been taking?
We all just want to make sure you're okay. That's all we want.
So exactly what they find him running down the highway or something?
Supposedly he was naked on top of the cab of a tractor. The driver said he picked him up and he doesn't know a whole lot. He can't tell us anything.
Where are you from?
This young man's not saying anything.
You ain't got no ID?
Hey, where are you from? Seriously, talk to us. We want to get you some help.
And arguably what's more important, look at Paul's reaction to the smelling salts. If you've ever had one of these things close to your nose, they're awful. And Paul had no reaction. That should have been a red flag.
I just want to go ahead to the substation and go to sleep. So if you tell me your name, we'll let you go so I can go back to bed.
She's being serious.
I'm being fucking serious. I'm sleepy. Give me a damn name so I can go home. For real. I'm tired.
What happened to your arm? You been walking? How long you been walking?
That's from that damn blood pressure cuff that she just took off.
Leave me alone. I'm sleepy
Come
too.
on.
We're all sick here, okay?
Please give me your name so I can go home. I know you know what the hell we're talking about. You're just sitting there laughing and
What's your
bullshitting.
name?
So tell us your damn name, please.
To me, it sounds like the most important thing to this EMS crew was making it back to the bunk room as fast as possible to go back to bed, rather than getting down to the bottom of what's actually going on with Paul.
Rodrigo, there you go.
How about David? How about Kevin? How about Charles?
Can you please tell us your name? I really like to go home. For real. I'm sick. I don't feel good.
After about 10 minutes in the back of the ambulance going back and forth with Paul not answering questions, one of the EMTs was finally able to get Paul to shake his head no when asked if he wanted to go to the hospital or jail.
Or do you want to go to the hospital? Or do you want to go to jail? The choice is yours. I can provide any of the three. So where you want to go?
Based on Paul's altered mental status alone, that EMS crew knew that Paul was in no position to say no, and it was their duty to take him to the hospital.
The choice is yours. I can provide any of the three. So where you want to go? Hello? Where you want to go?
These ladies can't be out here all night like this. None of us can. You're tying up a lot of resources. We're trying to help you.
Neither the EMS crew nor the police really wanted to deal with Paul. They were both kind of trying to shove him off on the other person.
Okay, if you don't want to go to the hospital, you can go with me. Those are your choices.
In about the next 5 minutes.
It's gonna be less than that, because I've been playing this game for far too long. I've been very patient with you. We want to get you some help. That's all we want. Okay, do you want to go to the hospital? Because if not, you're going with me. That's how I'm going to solve this problem. I'm a patient man, but I've been out here for a long time.
160 over 78. What's your name? All right, hold on. Let's try something a little different. Hand me a piece of paper.
What's your name? It doesn't matter what language he speaks. He can speak his name.
Right. What is...
He's not a retard.
No. But if he don't want to talk, he can read.
He understood what I said. He read my lips.
He's laughing with us. He knows what we talking about. Yeah, see?
What's your name?
Pudding, ask me again, I tell you the same.
What's your name?
We're not going to sit on the side of the road all night with you. So what's your name?
What are you looking at me for? You full of shit, bro.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he is. What's your name?
You don't want to talk to us? Yes or no? We know you can talk. We know you can understand us. You know, you got to be real with us. What is your name?
Shake your head if you do.
Okay. Do you want to go to the hospital? Yes or no? Do you want to go to jail?
Well, those are your two choices.
Come on.
That one little head shake by Paul, which was his only response to the EMS crew up until this point, was all they needed to wash their hands of him.
I'm going to give you a ride. You don't want to go to the hospital, Leo? So let's go. His vitals are good, ladies?
Yes.
All right.
We now know, based upon the lawsuit, that the EMS reporting from this first call was full of lies. In their reports, that EMS crew marked Paul's mental status as alert ×4, a normal mental status, meaning they're alert to person, place, time, and situation, which Paul obviously wasn't. But then when it came to the consent form for Paul to sign so they didn't have to bring him to the hospital, the EMS crew wrote down Paul had altered mental status and was unable to sign. That ambulance crew said and wrote whatever they could to get out of this run and justify their actions.
You don't want to go to the hospital, Leo? So let's go. His vitals are good, ladies?
Yes.
All right.
Have a nice day.
After Paul shook his head that he didn't want to go to jail and didn't want to go to the hospital, Deputy Doroski decided to escort Paul back to his patrol car, claiming he wasn't going to take Paul to jail. He just wanted to help.
Come on. I'm going to give you a ride. Do not walk on the interstate. Walk right on the shoulder road. You're not going to jail. You're not under arrest. I'm going to give you a ride. I ain't giving you a ride to jail because if I was going to give you a ride to jail, you'd be in handcuffs. You're not in handcuffs. You're not under arrest. I'll figure out where you live. Give you a ride to a safe environment. That's all I want. I want to make sure you're all right. That's why I get EMS down here. Check your vitals, make sure you're okay. Hop on in, we'll get you a ride. You put your seatbelt on for me. You taking him CNT.
And what did that help look like? Well, for Deputy Doroski, it meant driving Paul 18 miles out into the middle of nowhere, leaving Paul at a closed gas station.
And this was a young man who clearly had altered mental status, with no ID, no phone, no clothes, nothing. Deputy Doroski simply left Paul in the middle of nowhere and drove off. This was about 2 o'clock in the morning. How could anything go wrong in this scenario? Fast forward just a couple of hours and the 911 dispatch center receives this phone call.
Oh my, I think I just hit a person. Yes, I busted out my windshield and I know I've totaled my car.
That same EMS crew is now being dispatched to a man who was struck on the interstate. I'll give you one guess on who that was. Shortly after that EMS crew arrives on scene, EMTs Given and Harmons get out to assess the situation, and they quickly discover it's their patient from earlier, the man with altered mental status. Only this time, there's nothing they can do. Paul's lifeless body was laying on the side of the road after being struck by oncoming traffic, about 4 hours after being dropped off at that gas station.
A toxicology report from the Orangeburg County Coroner's Office came up clean. No drugs, no alcohol.
Now, this EMS report was written a little differently. This time, paramedic Harmon wrote that there was something wrong with Paul, and had she known that the deputy wasn't going to bring him to the hospital, they would have taken him. That EMS crew clearly knew that the deputy was not bringing Paul to the hospital.
I'm going to give you a ride. You don't want to go to the hospital, Leo? So let's go. His vitals are good, ladies?
Yes.
All right.
Following this incident, paramedic Harmon and EMT Givens were sanctioned for their misconduct.
South Carolina suspended 2 EMTs for 6 months, but deferred those punishment if the EMTs stay out of trouble. Whether or not any of them violated policy is still under investigation.
But neither one of them had their license revoked. Now, SLED did open a criminal investigation into this case. But wouldn't you believe it? That investigation was closed without anybody facing criminal charges. Seeing there was going to be no justice for their son, Paul's parents filed both state and federal lawsuits against everybody involved that night.
They didn't do their job. That's it. They just didn't do their job. They didn't care enough about human life to do their job.
Which of course everybody claimed qualified immunity, but thankfully the body cam footage spoke for itself and they were denied. After 6 years of going back and forth in court, Paul's family has finally decided to settle. And in 2024, they were paid $2.7 million. And that amount is believed to come at a steep discount to the defendants involved. Because had this case seen the inside of a courtroom and the jury saw that body cam footage, it's believed that number would be a lot higher. Also last year, the state of South Carolina has now removed qualified immunity from EMS crews.
It sets a new legal precedent in South Carolina. EMS and EMTs cannot claim qualified immunity, protecting them from lawsuits if they deliberately ignore medical needs of someone in their care.
The ruling stems from a lawsuit against Orangeburg Sheriff's Office and EMS. Paul Tarashuk died after EMS and deputies failed to help him during a mental health crisis 5 years ago.
If you made it all the way to the end of this video, thank you so much for watching. Our channel is newer to longer content creation, and we appreciate all the support we've been getting in the comments.
Please, if you like our video, give us a like and subscribe, and let us know what you think about Paul's case.
We try to answer as many comments as we can, so please make sure to let us know what you think. We call this Operation Dark Times with Nico and Sai, and we will see you in the next video. Bye for now.
I said good day.